Hey guys, it's Justin with Just Trucking. If you found this video today, you're probably looking to start your own authority. Get your own numbers. 4 years ago in August, I spent over $900 to a company just to get mine going. SafetyOutOfPrep.com. Put this video together for you guys. Streamline the process. Step by step, you follow along and get it done for yourself. And all you're going to pay is what the FMCSA requires you to pay. Nothing to Safety Out of Prep at all. They're doing this out of their own good graces for you guys. And after that, if any compliance needs you need, any driver files, anything like that, they'll take care of you. So here we go. Let's check it out.
Today, I'm going to show you how to file your own authority as a general freight carrier. We will be using this URL link up here in the search bar. It will take you directly to this welcome page. Now, before we begin, I do highly recommend to jot down all of your company's information that you're going to need to fill out and complete the online portal. This includes your legal business name, your company contact, a password, email, your EIN or social security number, mailing address, physical address, phone number, company operations, operation classifications, cargo classifications, and the number of drivers and vehicles. I put all of this information on a Google Doc or a Word doc. That way I can ensure that all of my spelling is correct, that I have all the information necessary to complete the application. That way I do not need to stop and restart the process, and so that I can easily copy and paste all the information directly from the Word doc into the portal. This will save you an immense amount of time. To begin, we're going to click on New Applicant. It is going to pull up an introduction information. I am going to bypass through these pages. However, when you start the process, you do need to read through this carefully to ensure that you understand everything before you start the process. They are going to give you this applicant ID number. You are going to want to copy and paste or jot this user ID number down, as if for any reason you do need to save and log out and come back in to finish this process, this will be your ID number to do so. That way you don't need to start the process all over again. Now I have put all of my information in a Google Docs, and I am going to be copying and pasting it into the portal like so. You will need to select 3 security questions. I would also write that down with the information on your form so that you know your security questions down the road. These can also be used for your security questions in the FMCSA portal. You will notice that this next highlights whenever I've completed a page. That tells me that I have done it correctly. Now for the company contact, I suggest that you always use the actual company contact, which will be the owner of the company or your DER. You can use the applicant representative if somebody else is filling this out for you. However, whatever name you put here for the contact is going to be the person that is in charge of your DOT application. Once again, I am just copying and pasting my information into the portal. This address is your company address, so it should be where your company operates from or where your trucks are parked. That way, when you have an in-site audit, they know what address to go to. My phone number is going to be the company phone number as well. You can put a fax number and a contact cell phone number if you would like to. I will not be doing that today. Then the contact email address. This drop-down box is your preferred contact method. I suggest doing both. That way you don't ever miss any important documents or due dates. This question is very simple. Either you do have a Duns and Bradstreet number or you do not. In this case, I'm going to say no. My legal business name should be the business name that you have registered with your Secretary of State if you are an LLC or an N Corp. However, if you are a sole proprietor, you will want to put your legal name here as it appears on your driver's license. This is for your DBA name if it differs from your legal business name. You do not need to put your legal business name in the DBA name. My applicant's principal place of business is the same as my application address. If you have a different mailing address than your principal address, you can fill it in here. If it is the same, just click the button and continue. Once again, I am putting that phone number. And since I am registered with the Secretary of State and the IRS, excuse me, I am going to be putting my EIN in there. If you are a sole proprietor, you would be putting your Social Security number in there. I am not a unit of the government. These are all of your business descriptions. So I am an LLC, so I'm going to click there, and I am going to select the state that I am registered in. This one is just showing that it's controlled by a U.S. citizen or other citizens of different countries if you are applying that way. So I'm going back to our business description. This is where having that copy and paste option will really save you some time. As you'll notice, I am just putting in the same information multiple times throughout this application. I'm putting that phone number in there once again. Copy and pasting my address. You can skip the city and state, and you can just put your postal code in and it will auto-generate your city and state, like so. It will spit out a summary that you can look over to ensure that everything that you have entered so far is correct. If for any reason you find that you did a misspelling or something incorrect, click save, and then you can go back previously to other pages without losing your progress. Feel free to take some time to read over this, as this is going to explain to you the different types of operating authorities. For the purposes of this application, we are not an intermodal equipment provider. Yes, we are transporting property. We are receiving compensation for what we are transporting, and we are transporting goods that belongs to other people, which makes us auth for hire. So I'm going to click yes. This is going to go over the types of property that we are transporting. So this is your cargo. I am not doing any hazardous materials. I am not a moving company, nor am I transporting any exempt commodities. As you see, when I arrow over some of these, it will give you an explanation of what these mean. Since I am just doing a general freight carrier, I'm going to go with other non-hazardous freight. This question is asking us if we're doing business outside of our state. And since we are crossing state lines, it will make us interstate. Once again, anything that is highlighted, blue and underlined, you can hover over and it will give you an explanation of what that word means. So I'm going to click yes. And we are not transporting our own property or services. If we were, that would make us private property versus the authorized for hire. So I'm going to click no and next. We are not transporting any passengers. We are not doing any broker services or freight forwarder services or cargo tank. We are only doing general freight, so that is why I am clicking no on all of these other services that you could register for. This page is going to show you all of the cargo you can click on. If you don't see a cargo that you're going to be carrying, you can click on Other and type it in below. It will automatically always click General Freight for you, so if you are not doing that, you will want to unclick it. I'm going to leave it clicked as that is what we are applying for today. Once again, that summary is going to pop out to ensure that I filled everything correctly up to this point. Now we're going to go over the vehicles. So I do not have any non-commercial vehicles. You do need to enter into every one of these boxes. So we are not a straight truck. So I'm zeroing out all of those. I am, however, a truck tractor, which also means a semi-truck. And we do own our vehicle versus lease it. So if you were term leasing it, you would put the one here. If you were trip leasing it, which means that it was just for that trip, only the trips that you're doing only there. Not doing tow or drive away. And since we do have a trailer on the back of our semi, I'm going to put one in that box as well. And then I'm going to zero out the rest of the boxes. I am staying in the United States. So both of those answers will be 0 as I will not be operating outside of the United States. My vehicles are going to be crossing state lines, so I will put 1 there. And I am going to 0 out this box as I am not operating just inside of my state. Here's your summary to review. And now we're going to enter how many drivers we are going to start operating with. I suggest always picking the over 100 air mile radius if you're unsure of how many miles you will be operating. But if I were to put 1 in both of these boxes, it would total my drivers to 2, and I only have 1. So I'm going to pick or choose. It is one or the other. I do not have any drivers that are just going to operate inside my state lines, so those are both going to be 0. Even though they might do something within my state, they also are leaving the state, so those are going to stay 0. If I did put 1 in here and 1 in here, it would add up my drivers, and now I have 3, which I only have 1, so we're going to 0 that out. If you have a driver who is operating a vehicle that requires a CDL, you would put the amount here. So again, I am not operating outside of the United States, so I zero those out. Your driver summary. And on to the financial responsibility. So most vehicles, just like the semi-truck that I am applying with, is over 10,001 pounds. This is going to make my BIPD 750,000. If I was, for any reason, operating a vehicle that was below 10,001 pounds, that insurance would drop down to 300,000. So I'm going to click yes. And it shows you the BIPD here, 750,000. These questions are going to ask you if you have any relationship with anyone else that has been operating with the FMCSA. If you click yes, it is going to ask you to fill out all of this information. If you've had more than one, you would click more and continue to fill out that information. I'm going to go back and change my answer to no. For purposes of this application, we have no affiliation. There's my summary. And now we're going to the certification statements. There are quite a few of these, and this is another example of why the copy and paste of your information is nice to have, because I'm going to quickly go through these. You will want to read these in your own time. For time purposes, on this video, we are going to enter the information and continue. It will not let you go further if you do not yes and certify every statement. You will be using the same password throughout this registration. Here is your certificate of summary. And now we're going to go to the oaths, which are going to be similar. We're going to be copying and pasting that company contact. The same password that we have been using. I'm clicking yes on here because I do want my company contact to be the same contact that's in the FMCSA portal. You can click no and put somebody else in, but then you would have two different names associated with your DOT. Okay, so the user ID, this gets confusing to some people. This is not going to be the one that they gave you before. You're going to want to use the email address. And this email address is going to be your username for the FMCSA portal. So I'm just going to put email since I had it copied in there. And then I am going to copy and paste my password. It's going to ask me the method of contact that I want for the FMCSA portal. I do want both US mail and email. I do want to use the same security questions. You can change those and click no if you'd like to. And then it is going to have us register for the portal account, which I am using the same company contact that I've used throughout this process for this as well. This is going to tell me what my payment information is. It is $300 per operating authority that you register for. We only registered for one, and so that is why it charges us $300. This is where you would enter your payment information up here. You would also continue using that same password. I'm not going to follow through with the payment on this one, as that was just all fake information, and I do not need to file a fake DOT number at this time. You can submit payment here. Once you submit a payment, it will pop up and give your DOT number to you. It will also have this printout page here that you're going to want to click, and you're going to want to either print or save a PDF